Hi everybody, John with Citizen Survival Plan. Today we are going to talk body armor, and there is a lot of considerations to make when purchasing and picking out the body armor that's going to be the best for you. We're going to talk about a couple different types. We're going to talk about soft body armor, the polyethylene body armor, the alloy, or as many call it, just steel body armor, ceramic, and the new stuff, the Diridium shot stop that is out now. I don't think that was out when I purchased my body armor, but we're going to go over some of my recommendations at the end, and kind of the pros and cons of each material that you would keep as body armor. So let's get right into it. The first one is going to be your soft body armor. This is a lot of times what we see like police officers wear and stuff. It's good for like stopping handgun rounds and stuff. It's nice and flexible, and it's comfortable to wear, and it's not super heavy. So some of the pros I just said, it's nice and thin, it's flexible, so it's comfortable. You can conceal it under like a jacket or something, unlike like if you're wearing plates or something. And number four, just to reiterate this, it's the most comfortable armor that you're going to wear. So the cons with this is your soft body armor cannot stop rifle rounds. So I know that's pretty much what everyone's like. A lot of people that buy body armor, like that's what we're worried about. Can we stop a rifle? Cannot stop a rifle. And there's one type of soft armor I'm going to go over at the end that can stop rifle rounds. So this is just generally speaking on the soft armor. It cannot stop rifle rounds. Generally speaking, there is one. I'm going to go into it. Just wait. This has a lot of deformation, like the back-facing deformation when it hits you. So if you do get shot with like a 9mm or 44 Magnum or something, if you have the armor that can stop up to that for the soft, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot. That's going to hit you and break a rib or something. I mean, it's not going to feel good, but it could keep you alive. Keep also in mind as I'm going through here, there's different levels to each like category. So there's soft body armor, and then there's like lower ones that'll stop like 22 and 9mm, and then there's like higher grades of soft that could stop up to 44 Magnum and beyond. So just keep that in mind. I'm just kind of going over the basics here and what you should consider. So that's a soft. We'll mention that. Next one I'm going to talk about is the polyethylene body armor. This one's okay. The good thing about it is it can stop rifle rounds. Like your polyethylene armor is going to be able to stop like the 5.56 and the AK round. This was at 7.62 39. I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong, I'll notate it. It's nice and light. It's got good frag mitigation. So when you get hit with a rifle round, it's not going to frag up and hit you and cut you up and maybe bust a jugular or something. So it's real good at mitigating all those shards of metal when it hits you. So overall, great protection with this. So here's what kind of kills it though in the cons is the shelf life is 5 years or 7 years. Now there's going to be, with every brand, there's going to be a little bit of differences and whatnot, but typically what I'm seeing is this armor is good for 5 to 7 years. Also depending on storage. Like if you throw this in the back of your truck and it's like in the bed and you have a cover top or whatever and it gets hot and it gets cold, like less. That I would stick to only 4 or 5 years on that. It's the thickest of the body armor. So when you shove it into a plate carrier, it's going to be it's going to be a little bit tight in there. Cannot stop armor piercing rounds. So pretty much all the brands that I've talked to are saying this is not very good at mitigating like the green tip, the 5.56 green tip and penetrator rounds. Okay, so let's move on to alloy, or people call it steel. A lot of companies just write alloy. I don't really care. Steel alloy. This is one people get a lot, and I like it, so I'm going to preface that. It's pretty good for multi-hit, so it can take multiple hits and stop bullets many times. Not that you're going to stand there like Superman and just get shot, but I mean, it's something to consider. You get very little back-facing deformation. So when the bullet hits it, the armor doesn't do all kinds of crazy stuff and crumple, and you know that bullet, like the round going in, makes like an indent and hits you. So steel pretty much it's either taking it and blocking it, or it's going to go straight through. There's really not much in between with steel from what I've seen. The shelf life on this is pretty much the longest. All the brands are pretty much doing 20 years on this. So if you're like a prepper, like this is good because we can buy it. It's nice and cheap, and you know we can just store it. It's the best overall coverage on the plate, and I kind of have a plate here, and I want to talk about this kind of for all of them. This is a Spartan Armor. This is a level 3 10x12, just standard steel. So on the polyethylene and or the other ceramic and stuff we're about to get into, when you get hit on the edges of the plates, those aren't as good when you get close to the edge, so you lose coverage on the edges of the polyethylene and ceramic and stuff, and it doesn't give you as good a coverage. Typically on those, if you get hit, it's real good at just taking hits in the middle. The closer to the middle, the better. With steel, that doesn't matter. You could get hit on the edge right here, and it's going to be pretty much just as good as getting hit in the middle. So something to consider with that. Yeah, so you can go the whole way up to level 5 with this. 3+ is kind of where I stay. And make sure you get the spall coating on it. The steel, this does not have spall coating, so maybe one day I'll shoot this just for fun. I'll video it. This is basically a useless piece of steel armor. It has the single layer, which isn't going to stop the fragmentation. That's one of the cons on this I'm about to get into. So this is useless steel armor as far as I'm concerned because it doesn't have the coating. Here is the one. This is a small plate with coating. You can see how much thicker it is. This is the same thickness steel between the both. This one just has a lot of coating on it to stop the frag mitigation. Here's the cons with steel. It is the heaviest out of all of them. I have like put it on and just worn it around for a minute, and I'll tell you what, it gets heavy. It does. Depending on how good a shape I am or not at the moment. I can deal with it. Make sure, yeah, I've mentioned that. Make sure you get, if you're going to get steel, it's got to come with that anti-spalling coating on it. Pay for it. It's between $50 and $100 extra dollars, depending on what brand you're going with. But you're going to need it. Don't buy steel unless you're going to do that. The spalling will just kill you. It'll stop the bullet, but it'll kill you anyways. So that's kind of the con on steel. Let's move on. So ceramic armor. The pros to this armor is it has the best one-hit protection from the biggest rounds and armor-piercing stuff. This is going to offer you the most protection. Now, kind of the problem with ceramic armor is it's really hard and brittle, so it could take a hit really, really, really good. But once you crack that ceramic shell, it's only going to protect you where it's not cracked, if that makes sense. You also can get some back face deformation with this because it's kind of got that hard shell, and it's kind of got, don't kill me on this, but it's got sort of like a mesh backing to it that collects everything that goes, comes through that shell. So that can happen. This surprised me, but the ceramic armor is about the same weight as steel, just a tiny little bit less. So these plates are coming in at 6 pounds-ish, maybe 6.5. So this is another thing I'm going to bring up with the ceramic armor. And I know that people kind of argue about this, and it might be a problem, it might not be a problem. But us as preppers, we do worry about this. And I've seen people run them over with trucks and stuff, and they don't get cracked or anything. But you can't actually tell if the armor is compromised or not just by looking at it. And I know people say you can take the armor and you can do a twist test on the plate to see if you could feel if it's cracked. And that probably would work. The only thing I don't like about it is if it's a hairline crack, it's going to be really difficult to know if you have a hairline crack, because it's not gonna flex or anything. It's got a hairline crack. So that's going to be an issue. I don't like it at all. Another con is it's a 5-year shelf life, maybe 7. Not because of the ceramic plate itself, and I've seen a lot of comments on this where they go, yeah, my coffee cup's ceramic, it's not expired, I use it every day, I've had it for 20 years. It's the backing that's actually expiring on that. The material breaks down just like the polyethylene and the other stuff. So once that backing's gone, you're losing a lot of your protection, pretty much most of it. It's more expensive than steel, so we're kind of competing this against steel, and I would just go with steel over this, in my opinion. Also, you get the inconsistency when you're shooting the edge of the plate. You lose protection the closer to the edge of the plate you get hit, so that's a problem. Also, the only way to tell if you have a cracked plate on this, you'd have to x-ray it to find that hairline crack or something, and that'd be the only way to do that. Okay, this is the cream of the crop. This is the best body armor if you have the wallet for it. This is called Shot Stop from Diridium. It's Diridium, that's the name of like the, I guess, recipe or whatever you want to call it that they make this out of, and it seems to be patented only by Shot Stop from what I can tell. I don't see anyone else making this. Other people make polyethylene, but not this. So 15-year shelf life, really good. It's lightweight and thin, so it's going to be comfortable to wear. It stops 5.56, 7.62. Level 3 up to level 5. The level 5 gets to be more like 5 pounds, but if you're just doing like 3+ and you just want it to stop AR and AK rounds, the 3+ is really good. That would be the one I would go with if I got this. I wouldn't deal with the extra weight. I know some people are like worried, like, hey, I have a neighbor that really hates me that has a sniper rifle, and shit hits the fan as soon as I walk out of the door. Like, he's going to shoot me, and I'm worried about that one bullet. Like, I don't know. Sometimes it's just funny. People like want their body armor to like stop cannons and stuff. So here's the cons to Diridium. It is expensive. Very, 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 very expensive. It's over $1,000 if you get your rear and front plate, because we wear 2. One in the back, one in the front. They're about $550 depending on what site you buy it from. So over $1,000 just for the plates. You can get the back-facing deformation with this. So again, you get hit with something big, the rear of it's going to bubble out, and it's going to hit you in the ribs or whatever. It's going to hurt. You're going to get the wind knocked out of you when you get hit with it. One thing I want to mention is the Safe Life Defense. And this is the soft body armor that is rifle rated. And I don't like it. And I know if you are on YouTube watching any kind of gun content or something, you know you've seen Safe Life Defense come up. They get YouTubers to advertise it and everything. I hate it. I would never buy this. God, I'm never going to get a paid promotion on this channel because I'm so mean about everything. It's heavy. It's 16 pounds of soft body armor. That's a lot of weight for something. Also, it's only got a 5-year shelf life, and it's $1,500. So it's more expensive than Diridium or the Shot Stop. It's heavier, and it's only got a 5-year shelf life. I mean, this is the worst of all worlds, in my opinion. I got to buy a $1,500 plus set of armor every 5 years. I don't get it. I know they make plates and stuff, but I just wanted to mention, because people have brought this up to me, like this soft rifle-rated armor from Safe Life Defense. I'm not a fan. I wouldn't get it. The other stuff I'm fine with. I don't get the point of even all the R&D to even make that thing. I just don't get it. All right, my final thoughts. I think steel armor is going to cover a lot of bases if you're a prepper. Now, we kind of always have to think about what we're going to be doing in our body armor. If you're going to be fighting in the next Revolutionary War, probably Diridium. I would probably spend the extra money and just get the Diridium. But in my thoughts on body armor, I don't think that you're going to be wearing your body armor all the time. I think it's going to be more of a thing where you have it at your house, or you have it at places of interest, maybe a well that you're defending, that you get your water from, wherever. We're going to put the body armor there, and we're going to have people that are guarding a certain location wear the body armor throughout the day and take it off. And I don't think we're going to be patrolling in it. Second final thought. If you're going to do steel, which I recommend, it's nice and cheap, you have to get the coating. If you have armor that doesn't have the coating, you might as well not wear it at all, in my opinion. Ceramic is my least favorite. It's kind of heavy, it's limited, it doesn't offer like really great multi-hit protection. And I wouldn't want to like have to x-ray it and stuff to make sure that it's not compromised. So from what I can tell, the only true way to make sure that your ceramic body armor isn't compromised is to actually like bring it to a hospital and have them x-ray it. Or I'm sure you can send it back to the company and they'll x-ray it. But then you got to worry when they ship it back, did the UPS driver or whatever drop it or anything. Like it's a lot to think about with that ceramic. I would just stay away from ceramic. I don't like it. I actually think pistol body armor, like the lightweight pistol body armor that stops up to like 357 mag, would be a really good option because it's nice and cheap, and you could wear it out under a jacket or something, and like if you're on patrol, you could have some level of protection. Would I rather get shot with a 5.56 wearing just a t-shirt, or would I rather maybe have something to at least slow the round down? So that's sort of how I think of pistol body armor. I actually think pistol body armor is a pretty realistic thing. I wouldn't mind having a set and just being able just to throw it on and just have some level of protection. I know it's not going to stop rifle rounds, but I'll take a little protection with the comfort of all that all day over nothing. Last thing. If you can afford the Diridium armor that's $1,000, do it. That's the best one. I mean, there's no arguing it. If you have steel or ever, like, I know people are very protective of what they've already bought. I have steel, but I'm going to tell you right now that shot stop from Diridium, #1. You ain't going to beat it. Yep, so that's going to cover it for today. I hope this helps people like kind of pick their body armor out. It's kind of a lot to take in when you really think about all the things that you would be worried about when you're purchasing body armor. Especially if you're a prepper or if you're like a real into guns and you just want to have cool armor. I mean, yeah, so I would go with the Diridium if you're that guy. But realistically, prepping on a budget and stuff, steel's the way to go. All right, that's all for today, guys. Thanks.